God says, "Listen carefully, my beloved soul, not with fear, not with doubt, but with a calm and open heart, because this moment is not here to confuse you, it is here to help you see something more clearly, something that has always been present in your life but is now becoming easier for you to understand." There is a person connected to your life in a meaningful way, someone whose presence has influenced your thoughts, your emotions, and your journey, and even if you have not fully realized it before, something about this connection is now coming into your awareness in a deeper and more honest way. You may have felt a subtle shift recently, a change in how you perceive this person, a difference in how you respond to them, or a quiet realization that you cannot fully explain yet, and this is not something random, this is awareness growing within you. There are times when you interact with someone without fully understanding the depth of that connection, without recognizing the patterns, the energy, or the lessons that come with it, but as you grow, as your awareness expands, you begin to see things differently, you begin to notice what you once overlooked, and you begin to understand what truly matters. This is not about judging anyone, my beloved soul, it is not about labeling things as right or wrong, it is about seeing clearly, about understanding honestly, and about recognizing how certain connections affect your inner peace. God says that awareness is not here to disturb you, it is here to guide you, it is here to help you align with what feels right and to gently move away from what does not feel balanced. There may have been moments when you ignored certain feelings, when you brushed aside certain thoughts, or when you chose not to look too deeply into what you were sensing, and that is okay, because you were not ready then, but now you are in a different place, a place where you are more aware, more reflective, and more connected with your own understanding. What you are beginning to notice now is not new, it has always been there, but now you are able to see it. My beloved soul, there is also something important happening within you through this realization, you are beginning to trust your own perception more, you are starting to listen to your inner voice instead of ignoring it, and you are becoming more aware of what feels peaceful and what creates imbalance. This is a powerful shift, because it means you are no longer depending only on external validation, you are beginning to understand things from within. You do not need to rush into conclusions, you do not need to make immediate decisions, and you do not need to let your thoughts create unnecessary pressure, because this moment is not about reacting, it is about observing. When you observe calmly, when you allow yourself to see without forcing meaning, you begin to understand naturally, and that understanding will guide you without confusion. God says that this is not something to fear, it is something to embrace with awareness, because what is being revealed to you is not here to hurt you, it is here to help you grow, to help you understand your connections more deeply, and to help you move forward with clarity instead of doubt. So take a breath, my beloved soul, and allow yourself to remain calm and open, because what you are beginning to see is not something you missed, it is something you are now ready to understand, and as you stay present with this awareness, everything will begin to make sense in its own time. God says, stay calm and remain present, my beloved soul, because what you are beginning to notice about this person in your life is not meant to confuse you, it is meant to bring you closer to clarity, a clarity that does not come through overthinking or rushing to conclusions, but through quiet observation, through awareness, and through your willingness to understand without pressure. You may have started to feel something different, a subtle shift in how you see this person, a deeper awareness of how their presence affects your thoughts and emotions, and even if you cannot fully explain it yet, there is a part of you that knows something is becoming clearer. There are connections in your life that exist for many reasons. Some bring comfort, some bring lessons, and some bring growth that you may not fully recognize at first, and God says that this connection is helping you see something important, not about them alone, but also about yourself, about what you feel, what you need, and what truly brings you peace. You may have been focusing on their actions, their words, or their behavior, trying to understand them, but now you are being guided to also look within, to notice how you feel in their presence, to observe your own reactions, and to understand what this connection is revealing about your inner world. My beloved soul, there is a shift happening in your awareness. You are no longer simply reacting, you are beginning to observe, you are noticing patterns, you are recognizing small details that you may have ignored before, and this awareness is not here to create doubt, it is here to bring understanding. When you see clearly, you no longer need to guess, you no longer need to assume, and you no longer need to question everything, because clarity naturally removes confusion. You may feel moments where you want immediate answers, where your mind tries to interpret everything quickly, but God says that understanding does not come from rushing, it comes from patience. When you allow yourself to sit with what you feel, when you give yourself time to process without forcing meaning, you begin to see things in a way that is more real and more aligned with truth. Not everything needs to be defined instantly, some things reveal themselves gradually. There may have been times when you overlooked certain feelings, when you chose not to think too deeply about what you sensed, or when you ignored small signs because they did not seem important at the time, but God says that nothing you felt was ever meaningless, everything had a purpose, and everything is now coming together in a way that allows you to understand more clearly. You were not ready to see everything before, but now you are, and that is why this awareness is growing within you. There is also something important you are learning through this, my beloved soul, and that is the ability to trust yourself, to trust what you feel, and to trust your own understanding without constantly seeking confirmation from others. You are beginning to rely more on your inner voice, more on your own awareness, and less on external opinions, and this is what gives you strength, this is what allows you to move forward with confidence. God says that you do not need to make any sudden decisions, you do not need to react immediately, and you do not need to let your thoughts create unnecessary pressure, because this moment is about awareness, not action. When you understand something clearly, the right actions come naturally, without force, without confusion, and without doubt. So remain patient, my beloved soul, remain calm, and continue to observe with an open heart, because what is being revealed to you is not here to disturb your peace, it is here to guide you toward it, it is here to help you understand your connections more deeply, and it is here to lead you toward clarity that will support you as you move forward. God says, listen with a steady and open heart, my beloved soul, because as this awareness continues to grow within you, you are beginning to see this connection in a way that is more clear, more honest, and more aligned with your inner truth than ever before. What once felt uncertain or difficult to understand is slowly becoming easier to recognize, not because anything outside has suddenly changed, but because you have changed, your awareness has deepened, your perspective has expanded, and your ability to observe without being overwhelmed has become stronger. This is the shift that matters most, not the change in the situation, but the change in how you see it. You may have started to notice patterns, not just in the other person, but also within yourself, patterns in how you respond, how you feel, and how you interpret certain situations, and this awareness is powerful because it allows you to step out of confusion and into understanding. When you begin to see patterns, you no longer feel lost, you begin to understand why certain things happen the way they do, and you begin to recognize what feels right and what does not. There were moments when you may have reacted quickly, when emotions guided your responses without giving you time to reflect, but now something different is happening. You are pausing, you are observing, and you are allowing yourself to understand before you respond. God says that this is growth, this is awareness, and this is what brings clarity into your life. When you create space between what you feel and how you respond, you gain control over your choices, and in that space, you find peace. My beloved soul, there is also a deeper sense of self-understanding forming within you. You are beginning to recognize your own needs more clearly, you are becoming more aware of what brings you peace and what creates imbalance, and you are starting to value your own emotional well-being in a way that you may not have before. This is important because it changes the way you approach your connections. It allows you to stay grounded in yourself instead of losing yourself in others. You may feel moments where everything begins to make sense, where certain behaviors, certain reactions, and certain feelings connect in a way that feels clear, and in those moments, you realize that nothing was random, nothing was confusing without reason, everything had meaning, and everything was guiding you toward this awareness. God says that this is not something to question, this is something to trust, because clarity does not come from forcing answers, it comes from allowing yourself to see. There is no need to rush forward, no need to make immediate decisions, and no need to let your thoughts create pressure, because this moment is not about action, it is about understanding. When you understand something deeply, the next step becomes clear on its own, without confusion, without doubt, and without hesitation. You do not need to force clarity, you only need to allow it. God says that you are not being shown this awareness to create distance or doubt, you are being shown this awareness to help you align with what feels true, to help you understand what supports your peace, and to help you move forward in a way that is balanced and real. You are learning to trust yourself, to rely on your own understanding, and to stay connected to your inner truth, and this is what gives you strength. So, remain calm, my beloved soul, remain aware, and continue to observe without judgment, because what is unfolding is not something to fear, it is something to understand, something that is guiding you toward clarity, toward balance, and toward a deeper connection with yourself that will support you in every part of your life. God says, listen with a calm and grounded heart, my beloved soul, because now you are arriving at a place where everything that once felt uncertain is beginning to settle into a deeper sense of understanding, not because every detail has been explained, but because you have become more aware, more patient, and more connected to your own inner clarity. This is the point where confusion starts to fade, not because the situation has suddenly changed, but because your perspective has shifted, and that shift allows you to see things as they truly are instead of how your thoughts once made them seem. You are no longer reacting in the same way, you are no longer allowing every small detail to overwhelm your mind, and you are no longer searching for answers with urgency, and this change within you is powerful, because it creates space for peace, it creates space for clarity, and it allows you to move forward without carrying unnecessary emotional weight. God says that this is what growth looks like, it is quiet, it is steady, and it changes everything without needing to announce itself. There is a new level of understanding within you now, a realization that you do not need to control every situation, that you do not need to define everything immediately, and that you do not need to hold on to confusion in order to feel connected. You are beginning to understand that clarity comes when you allow things to unfold naturally, when you observe without forcing meaning, and when you trust what you feel without letting doubt take over. My beloved soul, there is also a sense of emotional balance growing within you, a calmness that allows you to stay grounded even when things are still unfolding, and this balance is what protects your peace. You are learning to stay centered in yourself instead of being pulled in different directions by your thoughts or by external situations, and this is what gives you strength. This is what allows you to remain steady regardless of what is happening around you. You may also begin to feel a quiet confidence, not a loud or overwhelming confidence, but a gentle understanding that you are capable of handling whatever comes next, that you are able to trust your own awareness, and that you do not need to rely on constant reassurance to feel secure. God says that this kind of confidence comes from within, it grows through awareness, and it stays with you because it is not dependent on external circumstances. There is no need to rush forward, no need to go back, and no need to hold on to anything that no longer feels aligned, because everything you need is already within you. You are not missing anything, you are not behind, and you are not disconnected from your path. You are exactly where you need to be, understanding what you need to understand, and becoming more aligned with yourself with each moment that passes. God says that this awareness you have gained is not temporary, it is something you will carry with you, something that will guide you in your decisions, in your relationships, and in your life as a whole. You are learning to trust yourself, to stay present, and to move forward with clarity instead of confusion, and this is what will continue to bring peace into your life. So take a deep breath, my beloved soul, and allow yourself to feel this calm, this clarity, and this quiet strength within you, because this is what you have been moving toward all along. You do not need to chase answers, you do not need to force outcomes, you simply need to stay aware, stay grounded, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. If this message brought clarity to your heart, take a moment and comment, "I see clearly now," not for anyone else, but as a reminder to yourself that you are aware, you are grounded, and you are ready to move forward with peace. And if you feel someone else needs this message, share it with them, because sometimes the right words can help someone understand what they have been feeling all along.